Hello, in this video we are going to cover how to get started with Stata. We shall first begin with defining the various windows. We have about 6 windows in Stata. We have the results window. The results window, which is actually this is the window, the results window. This whole window is called the results window. This is the command window where we type our commands. This is where we see the commands that we have actually typed, called the results window. And then we have the commands that have been successful will be kept in here, or even those that have not been successful, what we call the review window. And then we shall have the variables window where we keep all the variables that have been stored in our data file, or those that you have when you import data or when you type the data sets, because you can't type large data sets, you're going to always type smaller data sets. Now, then when you type them, you're going to see the variables here, and then you can do the modification in the properties window. So we have about 5 windows that you can see right here. The first one being the results window. Second one being the command window, where we actually type the syntax, the commands that we want to use. And then the review window, where we actually see those commands that we have been able to type in Stata command window. And then we shall have the variable window. This one shows the variables which are stored in your data, the data that you have. And then you have the properties window. This one allows us to do data manipulation and managing. Now, in this video, we shall learn how to enter data in Stata. Okay. After understanding the various windows, Stata windows, we shall define variables and then define labels, and then see how to describe them. And then we shall do data importation. We shall learn how to import data and then export data. And then we shall learn how to use the do file editor. We shall have to learn so many things around that. So let's start and see how we can actually get started. Let's see how we can get started with this. Now, when you're here in your results, you go to the command window and type edit. When you type edit, it takes you to the spreadsheet. In this spreadsheet, you can do a variety of things. First being, you can enter your data. For example, I can have data such as I can enter 1, I can 2, I can enter 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Actually, I can have such data. And then maybe I have children age. I can have 12, I can have 3, I can have 7, I can have, let me say, 4, and then I have 8, I have 9. Because 78 can't be children age. I can have 8, I have 9, I can have 10, then I can have 11. Now, when you have this, you have already created data. What do you need to do here? You can use the command window to type the command to do that, or you can actually simply do it in the spreadsheet here. So when you highlight this variable 1, you can change the variable name to actually say, you can say sex, and when you can also have this, you can have this as age. Now, in the sex variable, you can go to the label and explain. The label gives a further description of the variable name. For instance, label, we shall type what we call, let me say, gender of the children, gender of children. I think that one is okay. And then we can come to age. When you highlight age, come here to the bottom under name, its label, we can say age of children. Now, the essence of us having the label is the name is a case sensitive. You cannot type and connect so many words in the name, and it is also specific. You can't type more than the number of digits that have been let me say specified in Stata. But for the label, you can actually type to a maximum of about 80 characters, if I'm not mistaken. So that's what we have done. We can so we've seen that you can actually enter data in Stata, and you can actually make a few changes on the data apart from doing analysis. So I need you people to understand that when you're doing a data analysis, if you have a few observations, you have few variables, you can actually enter them by yourself. So this can be done in Excel and still can be done in Stata. So instead of importing data direct from Excel, you can actually do it from here in Stata. Now, when we go back to to this, of course, we can clear what is being seen here. We can clear the results. Also, we can clear what is this side. That is, we can clear on the review window. Now, what we may be interested is how can we categorize? How can we show that this sex 1 is for male and 2 is for female? Now that one we might have to go back to the spreadsheet. This is sex, and then under sex we are going to go down to value label. We are going to create value labels. So we come here and say create label, and then we can say sex label, capital L standing for label. So we are telling Stata that 1 is male and 2 is actually female. So we say okay, and then we close that. But how do we, if we wanted Stata to actually read that, because what we are still saying, these are values, not the labels. So what you do, you go back to where you found value label, you go to the drop down label or the drop down menu, and then click sex label. It will automatically change. So this means sex is a categorical variable and age is a numeric variable or a non-categorical variable. So this, what we have actually understood is you can actually create data in Excel before you perform any bit of analysis. Now we have the menu here. We have file. The file can help you to actually import data. You can create a log file. A log file is a storage for your data, for instance for your results. So every command that has been actually executed will be stored in this log file. It's like a record, it's a record. And then importing is when you want to import your data from any spreadsheet. It can be from Stata, it can be from SAS, it can be from R, it can be from whatever spreadsheet you have designed your questionnaire or your data from. Then you can export data from Stata to any other spreadsheet. For instance, from Stata to Excel, from Stata to SAS, from Stata to R, using this function to export. And then the other thing is you can do editing. You can edit in your data. For instance, you can find and replace, and then you can table copy your options. You can look at the various table copy options. Now in data here, you can do a lot of modification. You can describe your data. A description of your data, it describes the data in your memory. And then we have data editor. Data editor still takes us to the spreadsheet. Of course you can edit or you can browse your data. When you edit your data, you can make changes in it. When you browse the data, you cannot make changes in it. Now you can create or change data. For instance, if you have a variable, let me say you have age of children in years, you can change it to months using this create or change data function. Then you have the variables manager.